Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Baraka. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukwakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers that have been bringing out this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years, not wavering to the left or to the right, but just bringing out sincere, righteous, 100% truth doctrine. And to the sincere Akyawa Akwa, salutations. Let's get right into it. This is going to be a famine of the word, so pretty soon we're not going to be teaching anymore. Now, we've only been telling you this forever, so let's make this a short one. And you heard it right there. They are literally going to shut down this truth. That's what this is going into. They are going to shut down the truth. And so what we want to do right now, I'm just going to put on a random show so we can watch somebody's face while I teach instead of my own. And back to it. So now, we already know, I'm going to start with Amos 3 and 7, because the people that they're trying to shut down are the people that are spoken of in Amos 3 and 7. And what does it say? In Amos 3 and 7, it says, "Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets." So we know right away that the prophets are the ones that they're trying to stop. The prophets are the one. What in the hell? Why do they do this shit? These guys ain't just sit there for 14. No. So the prophets are, and all these guys are preparing for war right now. Just letting you guys know. World War III. That's another prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. Right now, the prophecy that's going to be fulfilled pretty soon is famine of the word, World War III, and MOTB. Those three things need to happen so we can go home. So let's go ahead and get this. Not in that order either. Not in that order. Just saying those are the three things that need to happen. So like I said, verse 7 tells you that he's revealing the secrets unto the prophets. So what are they doing? They're trying to stop the prophets. So if you go backwards one verse to verse 6, the prophets are giving the warning. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh hath not done it? So shall something happen, and Yahweh hath not done it? So let's get it. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. And what does it say? It reads, see now that even I am he. There is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So when you read it, it says, shouldn't the people be afraid if the Most High does all these things? So shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh hath not done it? So if we're going to give you guys the warning, you got to know that this is actually getting ready to happen. That's why verse 7 tells you, surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he's revealing these secrets of these end times that are happening right now to the real prophets. That you guys say, oh, there is no prophet. Their last prophet was John the Revelator. There was no more prophets after that. No, that's not true. The prophets are back. We're reincarnated just like everybody else. And we come right back into our lot. In fact, now that we know that everything's revealed to the prophets, let's go ahead and jump over to Luke real quick. Luke chapter 14 and 23. And it reads, it says, and the Lord said unto the servants, go out to the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So what do? He's revealed his secrets unto us. So we're blowing the horn. The blowing of the horn is going out into the highways and the hedges. In other words, going out into the street corners where you guys are telling us we shouldn't be. Why aren't we in the church? Why don't we have a room? Because it didn't say that. It says Yahweh does not dwell in buildings built with man's hands. It says go out into the streets and compel them to come in. In fact, let's go to Matthew 22 real quick. Let's get another one. Let's see if I can find it. Matthew 22, starting at verse 9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid them to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. In other words, we went out and taught the truth to no matter who we taught to. The sincere 1/3 were the ones that came in as the guest. And if anybody came in outside of this truth, the Most High would take you away. So we're not going to get into that today. We're going to just keep it at the 1/3. But believe me, you ain't getting in. Nobody's getting in except for that 1/3 at this time. But like I said, now we're gathering the children of Israel. We're doing everything we're supposed to. And there's going to be a point where there's going to be a stop to it. And so as we're gathering, like I said, we're only going to get 1/3 at this time. So when you go into Matthew 25 and we're going to start at 6, because this goes into the wise and the foolish virgins. But the wise virgins spend their time, their grace period, they spend their grace period studying and following the instructions to the best of their ability according to their knowledge, applying what they learn to their life. The foolish virgins, they're living for today. They're living for the now. They're having the parties. They're having the good time. They're wise to their own destruction, pretty much, because they think they're doing the right thing, but they're just being lazy. So now, all of that said and done, you spent your life partying. We spent our lives studying and following the instructions. Let's get it. It says, verse 6, Matthew 25:6. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, and go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so. Let there be not, lest there be not enough for you and us, or us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy your own, buy for yourselves. And so while they went to buy, the groom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So when they come with this famine of the word, that the doors are starting to shut. The door is starting to shut. So while you guys are all find out that we're telling the truth, and they take this word off of the streets, you're going to find out that by the time you understand what's going on, the door is going to be shut. What had happened when what happened with Noah? He preached to the people for 120 years. They laughed at him. They mocked. They scoffed. They said there is no such thing as rain. Water doesn't fall from the sky. See, that's what you guys might not understand. Rain never happened before the flood. And so all these people mocked and scoffed, and all of a sudden clouds came above them. As soon as that door shut, it started storming. Water was coming from beneath and above. And so these people are scratching and clawing trying to get in, but they were cut off. Just like you're going to be cut off in this famine of the word. Just like these foolish virgins, as an example in the scriptures, are being cut off because they refuse to follow instruction. It all comes back to the laws, the statutes, and the direct commands that we were given. That's all there is to it. Let's get Amos 8 and 11. We're about to shut this down. Let's get to the point. Amos 8 and 11. Man, now they're messing around with me, of course. Amos 8 and 11. Don't let your voice be off just a little bit. Okay, so King James Version. Behold, the day is come, saith Yahweh. I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Now, what did that guy say in the beginning? What did he say in the beginning? That we need to monitor everything. We need to make sure that this is not, in other words, we need to stop anybody that isn't in 100% agreement with us, because we can't have you guys thinking for yourselves. In fact, let's go to Matthew 4 real quick. Matthew chapter 4. Because, like I said, it's not going to be a famine of food and water, but it's going to be a famine of the word. Matthew chapter 4, and where do you want to start? 4 and 4. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. So what you guys don't understand, once again, is man doesn't live off of bread and water. Physically, your body needs it to sustain, but you're dead in spirit unless you're living by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. So right now, you guys are dead in spirit, is what it's saying. And when you're dead in spirit and the word gets taken away, you'll never be able to receive life, because by the time you get your shit together, we're going to be in the kingdom. And says, let's jump around couple more verses, and then we're going to call it a day. I'm looking to see if there's anything else I want to bring out. Yeah, I'm going to bring out one more. 2 Timothy 4, 3, and 4. Let's get that. We'll close out with this. If it'll let me. That's why I got 2. Oh, there it was. Slovakia. I was about to grab another tablet. This one didn't want to let me in. It says, I'm going to start from the top. I charge thee therefore before Yahweh and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who shall judge the quick, that's the ones that are in the spirit, and the dead, the ones that are dead in spirit, at the appearing of his kingdom. That kingdom's coming soon, guys. There's a famine of the word coming. That's the first part. See, they take away the truth, and for us to be able to communicate the truth to you, then the next thing they do is they feed you all of their doctrine until you have nobody else to rely on for truth, and you end up getting the MOTB. So I don't know what's going to come first right now, but they're definitely getting digital currency set up, and they're getting this World War III set up. That's what these generals are doing. They're talking about war. Everybody's getting ready to fight. Everybody's getting ready to fight. So, verse 2, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. That's us right now. The Most High is going to do nothing, but he's going to give his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. And we're going to send out that warning. So we're going to go out and blow that horn. It might be scary, but it's better to be scared and safe than to be a fool in the streets asking for somebody to tell you what to do in the end. As a grown-ass man, you shouldn't be having to go up to another man in the end times when we've got this book and we understand it. As a grown-ass man, an Israelite man, you should be studying day in, day out. Be instant in season and out of season. In other words, always be ready to defend the gospel, the good news. The salvation is only for the Jews and the Israelites. So, verse 3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust will they heap to themselves teachers who have itching ears. And that's when they shut this truth down. They're going to give you new teachers. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. So there's going to be a time where they're going to take away the truth. And they're going to shut down this word. It says that you're going to thirst. There's not going to be a thirst for bread or a thirst for water, but a thirst of hearing the word of Yahweh. So you guys got to understand, once this happens, that prophecy is fulfilled. That's not like it's going to be back and forth. So, I want to close out with this. This goes into the Berean Standard Bible, but it's really easy to understand in that one. 1 Samuel 3 and 1. See, the problem with the truth is right now why they're going to shut it down, because they've destroyed the truth to such a point where there's a couple hundred different religions, at least. At least. I mean, just like you got Christianity and then you got all these different categories. You got Muslims and all these different categories. You got the so-called Jewish and then all these different categories. And so on and so forth with all of the different religions. So when you come here, it's easy to say, you know what? We don't know which one's the truth. We've got to monitor this. We need to shut everything down. But like I said, back in the old days, it wasn't like that. So when you go to Samuel 3:1, you can prove that. It says, and the children and the child Samuel ministered unto Yahweh before Eli, and the word of Yahweh was precious in those days. There was no open vision. This word's going to get shut down, and you guys don't even know what truth is the truth. Oh, Christians, no Muslims, no this, no Indian, no Hindu. You guys don't even know what the truth is. We keep telling you, we got the 100% truth over here. We're not taking money from you. We're not asking you for anything. We're just asking you to study on your own. 2 Timothy 2:15. 2 Timothy, what does it tell you? Because at the end, you're not going to have this opportunity. It says 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. When they take it away, you know what's going to happen? It says it in 16. It's going to be vain babblings, and they will increase unto more ungodliness. So that's why it says, but shun profane and vain babblings. But once they take the word away, you're not going to know right from wrong unless you studied all these years. So right now, if you can see that tidal wave, it's already too late. And believe me, I can see that it's a fucking tsunami and it's coming to destroy everything. And there's no running. There's no hiding. America's got a list of all the countries it's trying to take over. Every other country hates Americans at this point. You're not going to be able to run away somewhere and be safe. Everybody's fighting at this point. And once they find out you're an American in another country, they're going to blame you for everything that Trump did. So, with that being said, Revelation 22:12, like always, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. That return is soon. So if your works are all in foolishness and you weren't studying, and then they take the word away, you're gonna get your reward early, guaranteed, because you're not gonna know what to do in these end times. So with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this message. Call Halaya Yamla Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Wah Kadash Tuah.